Welcome to Cube Gallery. My name is Don Monet. I'm the curator here at the gallery. The show I'd like to give you a glimpse of today is a solo show by Sam Vinola, and the show is called Wall Units. So let's look at a few of his wall units. They're assemblages. They're beautifully wrought pieces that are roughly done, but also you can see how sharp they are. But they're not like a lot of contemporary artists these days would go and have them made at a plastics manufacturer or an aluminum factory. These are found objects that he's roughed into looking very sharp. But if you look behind and you look at the edges, you start to see these things are rough, which is good because I think that's a lot about what Sam is about. The next piece is called Corner Units, and again, it's an assemblage, and he's trying to create this optical illusion with this piece. And his use of color is fabulous in this, the blues and the yellows, absolutely gorgeous. This next piece, Twisted Logic, and again, it's self-explanatory, but it's got it harkens to some kind of portraiture, and it also has and this little teaser sticking out here, and don't get too close or you might get hurt sort of thing. The Fulcrum Rests. This is a piece of his that is, again, found object. That's a wall unit. That's an assemblage. A lot of his work, I think, is in dialogue with the existential community. So think of them as perhaps great big set pieces for the play, Père Ubu, or perhaps Waiting for Godot, something like that. And because I think Sam, although he's very whimsical in some ways and romantic in a lot of ways, joyful even, there's also this strain of melancholy. This is darkness going on there, and it's apparent in his work. And I think all great artwork has that too, where there's this tiny little thin violin note that just it's poignant. That's a little sad. And I think Sam's got that in all of his works, and I love that about his work. This next one, again, the playful thing going on, the key to abstraction. So all you lovers of abstract art, I think you'll enjoy this. And its references to the abstract art world. And I mean, clearly it is a key. There's no doubt about it. It's representational in many ways, but the color and the shape and the movement and this beautiful little key end here are all part of an understanding of abstract and how the abstract is pulling away from representational. Then there's this watch, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. When I saw it, I said, Sam, there's no time. And he said, that's exactly right. So there is no time on this watch. And I just like the way it works. It's absolutely wonderful. Finally, we have in the assemblage area that we have this subway commute. And if you think of these as two parts of the New York subway system, and then this is how you walk between the two stops. I think maybe you start to think of Jane Jacobs or people like that who understanding of the urban environment. And that's what Sam has done here, and I think in an absolutely brilliantly abstract way, showing you what a commute might be like between two subway stops. And then we get into his new rooms, which is hearkening to the 80s and 90s in the abstract art movement, that hard edged, a lot of tape, and a lot of just pure color fields. Wrought beautifully. I think this is an absolutely stunning color piece, and I've always been a big fan of this. Just sold it to a patron in Costa Rica today, actually. And then this is his second piece, New Rooms, and of course it's similar to the other one, but he started to do some kind of reflections in here, and so you're getting a few other planes of idea in there, and it's also very much, the colors are a lot more saturated, and it's quite interesting how he's changed that. And finally, let's look at this piece. It's one of his earlier pieces when he was doing more figurative stuff. And again, it's still an abstract in a lot of ways. These balls, they're not quite balloons because they're perfectly round. They're balls, they're floating on this water. It sort of reminds you of the same water that Hockney used, perhaps in his swimming pool. But Sam is using it to great effect here, and it's really, I find it's like a still life. It's like a beautiful still life. It's just sitting there, it's hanging there, it's in thin air, and it's momentarily frozen. And that's it for this quick glimpse of Sam's show. I hope you can come down. You've seen half of it, so come down and see the other half, Cube Gallery. We're on throughout the month of June 2011.